Hi everybody, it's Crystal. So today I'm going to show you how to crochet this blanket here. So we'll take a quick look at it. You've seen it there in the picture. It's as big and my desk is small. So it's actually quite easy to do. Now this is made with the Alpine stitch, which you can see right here. And then the rows, it's got 5 sections of Alpine stitches, and then they're broken up with 4 sections of single crochet. I thought it gave it an interesting look. What it looks like. So it starts with the Alpine stitch and then it ends with the Alpine stitch. See that? And then for the border, it's just got 2 rows of single crochet around it. So it's just a nice simple border. I didn't really want to take away from the yarn actually. So this particular blanket measures widthwise, it's 52 inches wide, and it is 78 inches tall. So it's a big one. Now you can adjust the size. I will give you the chain multiple if you'd like to make it wider, or you know, the rows of Alpine stitches, you can make them shorter, you know, whatever you want to do. I'll just show you how to make this and you can customize it to your liking. Now, for the yarn that was used, it is Caron Colorama Halo, the perfect phasing. So this is the ombre type yarn that's fuzzy. Very, very soft too. It's not, and it doesn't shed. It's a very, very nice yarn. I've used it for many things. So with the perfect phasing, I will explain. They all start dark. So the color of this one here is called Rosemary Frost. So if you was to purchase this at the store, they would all start with dark green and then they would end with the white, like that. So in order to get this to look the way that I did, start with dark and go to white, and then you would start your next cake with white and go to dark, and then your next cake with dark and go to light, and then your next cake with light and go to dark. That way there is no break in color. Well, you don't have to do it that way, but that is the way that this one was done. So the first cake was started with the center and finished it out, and then the second cake was started from the outside and went to the center to finish it out, if that makes sense. So there were no breaks in color, as you can see in the picture, but you don't even have to use this yarn. Let me move this off now. We can talk about the yarn a little bit more. I just wanted to tell you about that. Okay, so Caron Colorama Perfect Phasing. Now this is classified as a bulky 5. It's a very thin bulky 5. I would probably myself consider it more of a 4-weight. So you could use a 4-weight or a bulky 5. You could even use a 3-weight, because I'm going to give you the multiple and you can change it, you know, make the chain longer if you wish. Like I said, the color is called Rosemary Frost that I used. It's 77 acrylic, 18 nylon, and 11 polyester. 481 yards or 440 meters per ball. Now this one took almost all of 7 cakes. So you're going to need about 3,400 yards for this one. But remember, you don't have to make it as big as me. It's a big blanket, so, you know, and you can use a different yarn. I think it would look excellent in Red Heart Super Saver, because Red Heart Super Saver has excellent stitch definition. So that's the yarn that was used. And then we're going to be using a size J, which is a 6mm crochet hook. Alright, so I'm going to show you with the different yarn on a smaller scale, because that fuzzy yarn is sometimes hard to see. So this stitch, we start out with the Alpine stitch at the bottom. Now the Alpine stitch is done in a multiple of any odd number. So if you want to follow along with the blanket that I did, you want to chain 159 chains. 159. or if you want to make it a different size or use this stitch for something else, it is any odd number. All right, so once you get your chain of 159, we are going to do a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We go ahead and double crochet into that 4th chain. And then we're going to work across the row, and we're going to put 1 double crochet into every stitch for the length of our chain. So row 1 is just 1 double in every stitch until we get to the end of our row. All right, so once you make it to the end of row 1, if you are following along with me, you should have a total of 157 stitches, and that is the number that you will have for the rest of the blanket. But remember, we will count, for this particular row, we count this little chain here as a stitch. So counting him, 157 stitches. Now remember, we're working the Alpine stitch now. And we're going to go ahead and start row 2. So row 2 starts the repeat row of the Alpine stitch. Rows 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's a 4-row repeat. So for row 2, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. We're going to single crochet right back into this very first stitch. And then we're just going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch across until we get to the end of our row. So row 2 is just a row of 1 single crochet in every stitch. And I'll meet back up with you when I make it to the end. All right, once you make it to the end of row 2, you still should have your same amount of stitches, 157 stitches. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and start row 3. We are going to chain 1 and turn our work. That chain 1 does not count as a stitch. And we are going to put a double crochet right here into the very first stitch. Just like that. Now we're going to start the repeat of row 3. We are going to put a front post double crochet 2 rows down. So into this double crochet row here. So we're going to yarn over like we're going to do a double crochet. Now we're not going to go into this double crochet here. We go into the next one and go around it like a front post double crochet. Draw up a loop, and you want to pull it up a little long to get even with your stitches up there. And let's go ahead and do your double crochet like normal, just like that. And then we're going to put a regular double crochet into the top of the next stitch. Now we do not put a double crochet into the stitch that is behind this front post double crochet here. So this one we skip. It'd be the next one. Oh, we put a double crochet in it. Just like that. And now we're going to repeat that until we get to the end of the row. So again, we're going to do a front post double crochet 2 rows down. So this stitch right here, we did a post stitch around this one. This stitch counts for this double crochet, so it'll be this one right here. Yarn over, go around the post of that stitch, draw up a loop a little tall, and then just do your double crochet like normal, just like that. And then we're going to do a double crochet into the next stitch. Remember, we skip the one that would be in place of this front post double crochet, so we skip that one and double crochet into the next, like that. And repeat again, front post double crochet 2 rows down. So every time you do a front post double crochet in the double crochet row 2 rows down, you're just doing it in every other double crochet. So we did one in this one, we're not going to do one in this one, and now the next one goes here. Draw up a little tall and double crochet, and then do a double crochet in the next stitch, but remember we skip this one here and go into the next one. Like that. And we're going to keep repeating this until we get to the end of the row. Front post double crochet, 2 rows down, so we don't go into this one but this one right here. Drop a little tall and double crochet, and then we double crochet into the next, but remember when we flip it to the back we always skip this one and go into the next and double crochet. One more time. Front post double crochet, 2 rows down, so we skip this one, go around the next, front post double, pull it up a little taller, do your double, and then double into the next. And when you look in the back we always skip this one and work in the next one. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat this pattern until I get to the end of our row. Alright, I'm coming to the end of row 3, and I just did my front post double crochet 2 rows below, and I'm going to end by putting a double crochet into the last stitch. Just like that, and that will end row 3. And then we'll go ahead and start row 4. We will chain 1, turn our work. Chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch, and we're going to single crochet into the very first stitch. And we're going to work 1 single crochet in every single stitch all the way across until we get to the end of our row. So row 4 is just 1 row of single crochet. Alright, so we made it to the end of row 4, and now we're going to start row 5, which is the final row, repeat row of the Alpine stitch. We're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to start off by putting 1 double crochet into the first 2 stitches. So we go right back into the first one and double crochet, and then we're going to double crochet into the next one. And now we're going to work the front post double crochets again in the same manner that we did before, except for they're going to be catty cornered from the previous ones. So we're going to do a front post double crochet in this double crochet 2 rows below, and you'll be able to see because it's in between these 2 front post double crochets there's a regular double crochet. So go ahead and go around that and front post a double crochet, pull it up a little tall, and then do your double, and then we're going to double crochet into the next. Remember we skip the next one, we skip this one and go into the next one, and that's what we're going to repeat for row 5. So it's very similar. Again, we're going to do the front post double crochet 2 rows below, and it's very easy to see now. Here's 2 front post double crochets from the previous row. You want to go into the regular double crochet. It's right there in between them. So go ahead and yarn over and do a front post double crochet into that double, bring it up a little tall and double crochet like that, and then do a regular double crochet into the top of the next stitch. Remember we skip this one and we go into the next. So what we're doing is pretty much the same as the last front post double crochet row, except for we're now making these stitches catty cornered, and it's a lot easier to see your stitches now because you'll be able to see the double crochet in between the 2 posts from the previous row. So again, front post double into the double crochet 2 rows below, and then double crochet into the next. Remember we always skip this one and go into that one. Again, front post double crochet into the double crochet 2 rows below. So here are post stitches. You want to find the double crochet that's in between them right there, and front post double, pull it up a little tall, that, and double crochet into the next. We skip this one and we go into the next. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat this pattern until I get to the last 2 stitches of my row. All right, I'm coming to the end here of row 5, and I have 2 stitches left. Well, if you look, technically there's 3, but remember we skipped that one that is behind this front post double. So we're going to go ahead and do a double crochet in the remaining 2 stitches, and that will end the repeat of the Alpine stitch. So now what we would do is we would just start again, starting with row 2. Rows 2 through 5, 2 through 5, and we would repeat that until we get a total of 29 rows of this Alpine stitch. 29 rows. If you want to follow along with me, remember you don't have to do that many rows. If you feel like that section is too thick or you want your blanket shorter, by all means you don't have to do that many. But repeat rows 2 through 5 for a total of 29 rows, and that is including that very first row of double crochet that we did on the Alpine. All right, and once you get your 29 rows done, then what we would do is let's say I did my 29 rows, and this is where I would end on a row 5, and then what we would do is 15 rows of single crochet. So we would just chain 1 and turn. That's what's putting that break in between the Alpine stitches. And remember, if you don't want that break so thick, you don't have to do the 15 rows. Or maybe you don't even want to break at all. You can just do it straight Alpine stitch if you'd like. You know, it's your blanket. You do it however you like. So that's what I would do. And then once I got done with my 15 rows of single crochet, I would start again with my Alpine stitch, and I would do a total of 29 rows of the Alpine stitch. So there's 1, then I just chain 1 and turn, start again, single crochet into the very first stitch and all the way down. So it's actually a pretty easy blanket to do, and it's so beautiful. I love the Alpine stitch. It's a very, very beautiful stitch, and I think people think it's harder than what it is. It's actually quite easy. It's a 4-row repeat, but all 4 rows are very similar. Just like this. So this is how this blanket's done. So one more time, I'll show you. We started with the Alpine stitch row, like I just taught you how to do, and you would do a total of 29 rows of the Alpine stitch. If you want it that big, you don't have to. And then after that, you would do 15 rows of single crochet. Then after that, you would start with the Alpine stitch again, doing a total of 29 rows. And then after that, it would be the 15 rows of single crochet again, right here to break it up. And then again, the 29 rows of Alpine, 15 rows of single, and then you would end with, well, 29 rows of Alpine again, 15 rows of single, and then you would end with the Alpine. So remember, it has 5 sets of Alpine stitches and 4 sets of single crochet. So you start with the Alpine doing 29 rows, and then you do the 15 single crochets. 29 Alpine, 15 rows single crochet, and you do that until you have a total of 5 sets of the Alpine and 4 sets of the single crochet, and that's it. Remember, you can change the size by doing less rows of the Alpine or less rows of the single, or more if you want, whatever you want to do. And then once that's finished, all you need to do is just do for the border. You can do any type of border that you want. It does not matter. You don't even have to border it if you don't want to, but with this particular yarn, it was a simple border, so just evenly spaced out single crochet all the way around, putting 3 in each corner, and that was 2 rows of single crochet for the border. So one single in every stitch, just evenly spacing them out the first round and putting 3 in each corner, and then another row of single crochet, working 1 single crochet in every stitch, and then putting 3 in each corner. You could do a double crochet border, would be nice as well. Couple rows of double crochet would make the border bigger, and I think it would still go well with the Alpine stitch, but whatever you want to do, it's your blanket. So that's how it's done. Very easy, and I can't wait to see yours. It's very pretty. This yarn is very pretty, but any yarn that you use will be very pretty. It's just a pretty blanket in general. So I hope that you enjoyed my tutorial, that you were able to follow along okay. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and if you make this, you can show me a picture on my Facebook page, link to that below, and also in the description box there's a link to over 1,000 crochet tutorials. They are all free. It's all free to watch any video on my channel. You know, you don't have to pay anything. Everything that I show on my channel is free, every video. All I ask is that you subscribe. That would really help me out. Leave me a comment below and a like, and I'll see you guys on my next video. All right, bye guys.